knew.
Wait, question for both of you. Have you guys ever done hood rat shit together?
Hood rat shit?
Like
Have you done hood rat shit?
What's an example
Yeah.
of that? What does that mean?
You know it when you see it. Some
No,
hood rat
because
shit.
she got into a pretty
Like really serious
relationship at a young age, since she was like 15. And this is the first time she's been like a single woman.
Yeah.
So
in my
hood rat
adulthood.
shit to come.
No. Sophia seems like a good person. Do not
I wouldn't be a bad person.
do not be a bad
It's my own
influence.
thing.
No degeneracy. Have you been trying to convince her to do OF? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Would you?
I would never.
Don't.
Those are
I'm very
those are her
conservative
morals.
in my own person, but
Yeah.
liberal in ideology.
Wait, you're conservative
Yeah,
in
like
what?
I'm conservative. I don't really like to show my body. I don't really like to talk to
Okay.
men.
But
Yeah.
you're liberal in your what?
Yeah, ideology.
What do you
Like
mean?
my opinions are extremely left-leaning.
Super left leaning? Like
Yeah.
communist? Are you a communist?
No, I mean more
Socialist?
so like social, like
Oh, okay.
liberalism. Yeah, like people should just do whatever they want.
People should just.
As long as it's safe and healthy.
Andrew
and
might come for
respects
you on that,
other
but
people.
hold on, let me
Yeah.
before.
hurting
wait.
anyone.
So,
I feel like we're like the opposites.
it
Like
could
she's
Yeah.
more conservative
It's-
brained, and I'm
Oh,
more
is your
conservative.
standard for progressivism hedonism?
What does
What?
that mean?
Yeah.
Ask what you
Hedonism.
mean.
So it's self-interest.
Can you ask that in a different, like phrase that
Oh
differently?
yeah. So everybody should be able to do whatever they want as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else.
Yeah, I'm pretty like libertarianism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Like,
that's
kinda do
very
what you
typical.
want.
I think it's good to
progressive
have some
ideology.
self-control,
Yeah.
though. It's always nice.
Yeah, I would hope.
So I'm guessing that you believe in feminism. You think feminism is great, women's liberation, blah blah blah, right?
Sure.
Okay. Just want to clarify your position. So as you're walking through this, and you think to yourself, you think to yourself that it's a good idea to be self-interested. Do you think that you have any greater duties to society, or just only a duty to yourself to make yourself happy?
It depends, like to a certain extent, as all things are.
Well,
If
what
you
extent?
give me an example, then I can answer that, but that's super broad.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's broad, so it should be easy to answer.
Well, yeah, it's so broad that I don't know what you're referring to in specifics.
Do you have any greater duties than to do whatever the fuck you want?
Me personally, I feel like I want to
Yeah.
be a good person, so that I do.
What is that?
Okay,
I
what?
like to take
What are
care
they?
of children. I like to be nurturing to the people around me. I like to like spend time with my family, things like that.
Those,
It's very
those all
simple.
sound like self-interest.
Taking care of children? How's it a
Taking care of-
self-interest?
It's exhausting.
Taking care of someone
It's hard
else's
work.
kids?
How she feels is what makes it self-interested. She does it because they make
Yeah,
her feel
everybody
good.
does.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine,
It's a
but that's
rewarding
still
experience to help
self-interest.
other people.
Yeah, do you help other people though because it makes you feel good?
Sure, why
Is there a
not?
split? No, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
What are
right,
you
so,
trying
I mean,
to
that
get
would still be
at?
Yeah,
self-interest.
I feel like
Since
you're trying to
you're-
walk
since
me in a
you-
trap and it's not going to
He
work.
said he's trying to say since you help other people for yourself to feel good, it's a self-interest. So
Yeah,
that's,
sure, I'm
but it's like that. But
self-interested
okay,
then.
but most Christians always say that you do good moral things because the Bible told you to.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
also
it's
an interest
missionary work.
of getting into
Self-interest when you
heaven.
put it that
Everything
way.
that you do good is an interest of you trying to make it to heaven. So that's also self-interest in a way. Why does it matter? She's also helping other
Yeah,
people.
I
at the
mean,
end of the day.
maybe
Why
it
the fuck
could
does it
be,
matter?
but whether it is or it isn't, I'm just trying to figure out what her
Utilitarianism.
position is, Kiko. That's
told
it.
you.
I
Just want
already
to figure
told you
out
my
what she thinks in her
position.
head before I haven't even given a criticism. I'm just trying to find out what she actually thinks.
Yeah, but your
So I'm just
question
trying to
is like
figure
to
out
force me into
if
saying
she's
I'm
a
selfish.
consequentialist and she believes that the best thing that she can do for society is do all the things that make her feel the best about
Yeah,
whatever it is
I
that
think
she's
that's
doing.
what makes a good society.
You had something really quick. Go ahead.
No, yeah, like going off of what Kiko and Anais said, that then he said, this Andrew guy is funny. He has a handful of words that make him sound smart, but it's easy
Okay,
to see
your
through.
boyfriend's not at the table, so we're not gonna do a.
I know, I just thought it was funny just because, like, it's kind of like a roundabout argument.
Okay. Here.
There's a lot of
Oh,
Actually,
variety.
what's roundabout about it?
You don't understand, Andrew. We've gone into circles and circles with you, and we've told you
Yeah,
so
I know
many
you
things.
don't answer questions. That's
We
why
have.
we've
We've
been
answered
so I have to
questions
re-explain
all the
constantly
time.
what
I think
I
it's
mean.
an audio issue
You couldn't
or
even
something.
answer. You couldn't even answer the
Yes.
breakfast question because
Andrew.
you can't engage with hypotheticals.
Nobody's like stuttered here. Like, are you okay? Like, Like
I feel
maybe
like
get a
you're
Q-tip or
purposely
something.
yeah.
No, go get a
Here,
Q-tip.
Guys. Okay, hold on.
Like what you do is you spurg and you don't answer the questions.
Hold on. Okay.
What was
so-
the question we didn't answer?
Hold on.
Jealous
so
boy.
for you said that you consider yourself a, this is for Av Gray, you're a feminist for the general population, but I'm personally traditional in my own relationship dynamic. He is the provider and I'm the homemaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say feminist for the general population, feminist how?
So, I believe in egalitarianism. I think that regardless of gender or gender identity, people deserve to have equal rights as well as the opportunity, as well as the same, entitlement to the amendments and the rights that we hold as American citizens. That's just what I believe. And women have the right to go out and pursue a career and be paid the same amount as men that do the same career. But me personally,
There's a lot there.
that's what I was saying. Me personally, for my own dynamic, I've always noticed that I've excelled at being a homemaker. I'm very, good at cooking, baking, taking care of the person that I love in every way possible, like whatever they need.
Okay, what is a
Have the
right?
freedom. Women should have the freedom to have a career option.
They
It's like more
do.
second wave feminism.
They
is what
They,
we're saying.
they do.
Yeah,
Equity.
it's more second
Well,
wave
equity.
feminism.
She's talking about second wave feminism.
I have a couple
That's what she's
questions, but
talking
I know, Andrew, you probably have a couple too. So,
Yeah, what is a right?
Oh, here we go.
A right? I mean, it depends on the country that you're in, because in America, a right is constituted by the documents that founded this country. So that's
Yeah,
what a
no,
right
but I'm
is for
asking,
us.
is a right a material thing or an immaterial thing? Is it just a socially constructed thing, or is it something which we actually have innately given to us by something?
Well, when you say innately given to us by something, would you consider a government as a thing that can give it to someone?
Well, government's just force, so you just consider rights to be force?
I mean, the government enforces the law, and it enforces the right for all citizens to have the right to happiness, equality, freedom of speech.
You don't have.
So absent that force, do you have a right?
I'm sorry?
So absent that force, do you have a right?
Absent of that force, do you have a right? Well, a society is maintained by government, so, I mean, if there is no government, then I suppose I don't have a quote-unquote right, because there is no government to enforce that right.
So then why do you believe in rights if they don't actually objectively exist? What you actually believe in is force, right?
Well, why do you believe in rights?
nope.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, say that again?
Well, why do you believe in rights if they don't exist?
I still didn't hear the question, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
She asked why do you believe in rights? if
Yeah,
that is the case?
don't answer my question with a question, answer the question.
You've been doing that to us the whole time.
Yeah.
No, I'll answer your
You
question,
don't like the
but
same
answer
energy.
mine first
you don't
and
like
then
when we
ask
give off
the
the
question.
same energy.
Here, let me ask this. So, I mean, you
When
mentioned.
when you get to the heart of a thing, what people always want to do is they want to divert because they don't have the answer by asking you a question. You can ask me whatever you want, and I'll answer whatever you guys ask, and I have the entire night.
Okay,
Never been a
sure.
direct question,
Then
but I haven't
please ask
answered.
me the question
but
again,
please
and I'll
answer
answer.
mine. Why do you believe in something that doesn't objectively exist by your own metrics? Why do you have this belief in it? This way I can get to the core of what you actually think.
I did not define my metrics, but I do believe in things that are immaterial, such as the presence of a deity, which is my God, the Christian God. And that's just me personally, something that I believe in. If I believe that there is a right despite the force of it, then that's just what I believe.
And is that what you believe, that your rights are deity given?
They're not deity given, they're societally given.
Okay, well then why did you bring up a deity? I don't
No, because
understand.
you're
Let me-
asking
I-
me
I'm trying to figure out where
asking
you...
if You're asking
you're
about
asking
a
if I can
government.
believe in something that's immaterial, that's not like in front of me physically. So yes, I do believe in something that's not in front of me visibly.
Yeah, but that's not a right, right? You don't believe in a right which isn't physically
I
there. You believe in a
never-
deity
I
which
never
isn't
said
physically
that.
there. Fine.
Yeah,
I'll grant
I
you the
never said
deity
that.
you believe in that's not physically there, but you don't actually believe in rights then. You believe in force ultimately, right?
No, I believe in rights. I believe in the right to freedom of speech. I mean, there are so
What
many.
is the point?
Yeah,
what
where
is
are
the
we going
point
with
of this
this?
conversation?
Because it gets to the heart of feminism, which is actually about enforcement, not about rights. Because you guys said that you think that women have X amount of rights and that those rights should be given to all women. So when we get
haven't
down
even
to it,
gone
are we
around the
talking about
table
something which is
and,
an
like,
immaterial,
asked that.
subjective metric, or are we talking about force? That's why I'm asking
they
these
were
questions.
immaterial if at that time that men had the right to do it and women didn't. So it was written down. That's what they were fighting against.
Great.
They weren't
We
trying
have
to
a
make
piece
up
of
their own.
paper. The piece of paper's there. The words are written on the piece of paper. Those things exist objectively, but the right that you're actually enforcing, is it really just force that we're talking about, or is it something else? Is there something else tangible outside of force that makes a right a right?
When you refer to right, can you specify what you mean?
And well, I define a right as being an entitlement absent duty.
It's like a right to vote, right?
Yeah, that would be an entitlement absent duty. You don't have to vote.
So you're saying
but
the right to
you can
vote
if
is
you
a
want to.
force?
There's no duty to do so, but you could do it if you chose to.
So the right to vote is a force of.
Well, it's not force. It would be an entitlement absent duty. There would just be that the force portion would be the enforcement that you can do it.
Okay, so it's bad that women wanted the enforcement that they could be
Didn't
the
make
right
a
to
claim
vote?
about it being bad or good. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out
Oh,
what you
I'm
guys
trying to
think
get your
it
point. What your
even
point
is.
is? Well, we're just trying to figure out what
Here,
your point is.
I have some questions.
Well, we can get into why my point is this
I want to
way.
hear
My
more
point
from
is to
Hold
say
on.
this.
over here.
Here,
That
let me.
men have a.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
gosh.
You're the one keeping me
Oh my gosh, free hashtag free the doctor.
I got a couple questions.
No.
Okay, so, I mean, I asked you, feminist how for the general population, you mentioned women should be paid equally, but you also want to be provided for. Question, do you pay any rent? Do you live with your boyfriend?
Well, when I was living by myself, I paid rent, but now he provides, and I take care of him.
So you live at his apartment, or you have an apartment together?
We have a cabin and 2 apartments.
You have 2, and does he pay for all of them?
I'm sorry?
Yes, he
Does-
pays for everything, Brian. He pays for
Okay.
everything.
Okay, he pays for everything. Does he pay for trips?
Yes.
Does he pay
is
for
a
food?
provider, yes.
Okay. Now, do you think there's a fair amount of women who also want the same thing? That also want a provider?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I'll go around the table on this. So, going around the table, do you want 50-50 or do you want a guy to be a provider?
I think I want to be a stay-at-home mom, so probably a provider.
Provider.
Provider. I just want a partner.
Into the mics, guys.
Partner.
50-50.
50-50.
Into the mics.
Partner. I want provider. I would love to be a stay-at-home mother.
A provider, because my role is as a homemaker.
Okay.
A provider.
Okay, so pretty much everyone here except for, was it one? Just two, maybe 2 of you?
50-50.
We're fine with 50-50. So you mentioned like this inequality when it comes to money, right? The wage gap, which has been debunked. Based off of just your answers, now there's a whole bunch of factors that go into the wage gap. For example, men work more dangerous jobs. They're more likely to work overtime. They're more likely to relocate. They work more hours. They go into different fields than women, and that's all choice, right? These are choices that people make. One of the big things that occurs to me on this whole like wage gap thing, and women should make the same amount of money as men. And why is it that men occupy all these positions of power and the top paying jobs and the C-suite when it comes to corporations, executive jobs, so forth? Could it be, given all of your answers here, that you want a provider, that men have a mating pressure on them, a very real mating pressure that does not exist in women? So if there's like a large cohort of women, again, some women are okay with 50-50. I don't know what the exact breakdown is, and maybe it's 40%, 50%, 60% of women want a guy to be a provider. They want a sole breadwinner. Then wouldn't that on its own explain why men occupy these top positions of power, why they make more money than women? Because there's a pressure on them from women that same pressure does not exist on any of you. Any of you can find a guy, and probably that guy will not give a fuck about your career. Like, he won't really factor in the money that you're bringing to the relationship.
like-
so
We don't represent the
Yeah,
entire
that's-
female population.
right, but I said even if it's 20% of women want a provider and all the other women want 50%, that is statistically significant enough to put enough pressure on men to be more motivated and more inclined to be providers, to go make a fuck ton of money, to go out and conquer and conquest and get those top echelon positions in society. In addition to just the money, women are also attracted to status. So powerful men at the top echelons of corporations, government, women are attracted to status. Men don't really care about status. So I mean, I think that kind of, it's just your whole, the reason I'm bringing it up, you're making this point of feminist for the general population, but I'm personally traditional. You can't have this like massive push for like, men and women need to make the exact same amount of money, but I'll only date a guy who makes more money than me. But the wage gap, but also I like high status men with good paying jobs and I want him to be the sole breadwinner. If there's enough women that are putting this mating pressure on men, then of course men are going to go out and we are going to inevitably end up in those high paying jobs and we're going to take the positions of power. The patriarchy.
You act like both of those things can't coexist at the same time, though. We could have women who want to be CEOs and then how men are the CEOs. I get your point of like what you're trying to make, but if anything, bless you, I think it has more to do with still overcoming parts of history. Not saying that women are allowed to run for those positions, but they're still getting out of the mindset of where they believe that they can.
Men are more motivated to get, broadly speaking, generally speaking.
I don't know about
Yes.
that. If men are more motivated, then why are more women in higher education than men?
Because feminism has rigged the game. It's rigged the system to basically all through, even if you look at how they've rewired, I don't know the specifics on this, maybe Andrew has something on this, how they've kind of changed to some degree how education is done, starting even at the kindergarten level, to sort of, I don't know if pander's the right word, but to cater to the more female way of learning. And there's all kinds of
what?
I can't. Nothing's occurring to me that I can give you an example.
Like people
but
with like ADHD and stuff. Like
well,
that also
here
doesn't help people.
I can answer this actually. Affirmative action, for example, since 1979, there's been more women going to college and graduating from college. That's almost so. That's what, 40 plus years. More women have been going to college than men. We've done this through affirmative action. There's more scholarships for women.
Okay. More scholarships for women?
I've
never gotten a
women
scholarship.
can conform easier in the classroom than men.
What's that?
I don't think that it's like the school system's rigged for women. I think that women can just conform to it better.
I mean, there's
women
certainly
are like better. I mean, you don't really pin what like ADHD. You get like underdiagnosed with women because women can just kind of deal with it.
Mask it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
they can mask
when
it.
it comes
Same
to
with autism.
sure when it comes to that, I mean, you have certainly an overrepresentation of women when it comes to elementary school teachers.
Yeah.
And typically, so women have a in-group bias for women.
I think it's more of like social, like, I don't know, just better adapting to like social environments.
Well, I also
communicate
think
better in a lot of
men
ways,
need to,
too.
or boys, I don't know, I'm not super privy to this, but I think boys probably need more breaks to like go out and do PE, but it's, I don't think, honestly, I don't think anyone is meant to sit in a chair and listen to somebody else speak for like 9 hours.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that
also
one,
agree with that,
but
yeah.
I think school education, its purpose is to basically prepare you to be a good worker drone, a worker slave. Okay, sit here, shut up, listen, do what you're told, do this fucking bullshit task. So
America and China have the longest school days. Most schools in other countries are only 4 to 6 hours.
So-
And then God forbid they even teach us anything we need to know.
But it's
like,
just so
to
interesting,
live
like-
we
in
only
the
have
world.
school because people need to go to work.
wait, going
And
around the table on this,
if there was no school,
do you
people
consider
couldn't
yourself a feminist?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Not in the sense that's being spoken at this podcast.
Not a blue hair
Not
feminist.
this new wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm an anti-feminist.
I think that's a little bold. Wouldn't go that far for my personal
Thanks, Anaí. you said you want a provider. Sophia, you said you wanted a provider, right? So how do you reconcile being a feminist? Hold on, let me ask the question.
I've said this before.
I'll ask you again though. How do you reconcile being a feminist but also expecting a guy to be a provider and pay for everything and pay for first dates?
Just because I want everybody to have equity doesn't mean I can't have a provider.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not saying like, oh, every woman should label themselves as a feminist. I'm not like this, what she said, like a blue-haired feminist. Like, I very much like, I guess there's that stereotype that feminists like, oh, they don't shave, they're not submissive. But yes, they can be, and I feel like we're both like that.
When you say equity,
Yes.
what do you when you say equity, what do you mean by equity? Do you say we can have equity even though I have a provider and I'm not doing the providing? What's equitable there?
But you don't have
that's
to
not what I'm
provide to make a
saying.
relationship equal.
Yeah, so
I can
what's
also
meant
have
by
value
equity?
placed on myself by like, oh, I want to raise children or cook dinner at night for my husband. That can also be like providing a lot.
What about
but
that is
not in the same
equitable
sense.
though?
That it should be the same value should be placed on both. You need both to like have a nice running household.
Yeah. It's like,
So do you think that the value of the woman raising children is equal to the value of the man working?
Yes, children are very exhausting. It's extremely
Absolutely.
laborious task.
okay, if she babysits, I was babysitting for a while. I still kind of do babysit. Do you know how much a babysitter gets paid? A lot of money.
About
a lot
$4
of money.
an hour?
No.
How much did he say?
Much
No, it's
much
a lot.
more.
Did he say $12 an hour?
No,
Yeah.
it's more.
Way more than that.
Plus, I get paid. I would get paid extra for cleaning. I would help a lot in the households that I was working in. Do you think the woman is getting paid for that? No, that is hours and hours of unpaid labor.
That's why when you have two full-time working people who have two full-time demanding jobs, they usually have what? A nanny. They have to pay someone to do those jobs that the woman can no longer do because that mother is working a full-time job by raising those
When
kids.
you were babysitting those children, how old were they?
babies and all ages. Actually, I've babysat so many ages.
And as children get older, they need less and less attention, correct?
That's a
No.
terrible
I was
thought
watching
process
like a
to have.
Not at all.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Not at
No.
all.
I mean,
if-
with that for 18
You
years.
mean
and
you
then
think a
sometimes
12-year-old
you
needs as
realize
much
There's
attention
obviously
as
a
an
time where
infant?
your
You wanna
parents
raise
start,
your
like started
child
letting
well.
you stay
Age-
home alone. You know,
But it's
yeah.
Age
still
doesn't
allowed.
value-
Even
Yeah.
still, you need to be taken care of. You need to be taught. You need
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
have guidance in
A
life.
12
Yeah, but you're sending your kid off to a public school. You're not
Even a
teaching them
teenager
shit.
needs guidance and needs a parent.
Yeah, and
They're
they
not,
do
like,
get guidance, they get a
somebody
parent, but you
to come
outsource
home
most of it by
and
sending
So,
them off to
okay,
a public
for
school.
example, right?
Hang on, let me finish. For most of the day, you send the child off to a public school.
So,
Because
okay,
it's
That's
What
not
work-
What
parenting if
work
you're not
are
raising
you
your kid
really
outside of
So-
putting in?
as an example, right, Andrew? So I want to have at least like 3 kids, right, about 4 years apart. So I might have one kid in full school, but I'm still gonna have one kid that needs to be home, right? You might have a kid that's sick one day. You might have a kid that you're taking this kid to soccer practice at this time, and then taking him to field trip at this time. And then I want to be like the mom that's like the not
Like the
PTO,
PTA
yeah, like
PTA mom.
the PTA mom. So I'm gonna be there. I want to be making lunch in the cafeteria for my kids. I'm taking
Going
them
on
on
the
their
field
field trips.
trips.
Yeah, that's not. It doesn't
yeah.
just stop once your kid reaches kindergarten.
doctor,
And also, you
no,
have
for sure
multiple
not.
kids that have multiple. My kids are going to be doing a lot of shit.
What does
so
this
I'm
have
going
to
be
do with my point
that they don't-
still
you don't-
require, they
you
do
don't-
require
you don't
less
neglect
attention as
children.
they get older?
You
don't
don't
neglect
stop-
children once they get to school age.
You don't stop taking care of your kids once
That's
they're
not
in
my
school.
point.
Is my
Let me
point.
reiterate it one more time. Children require less attention the older they get. Yes
That's
or
not
no?
true.
I don't agree. No.
Teenagers
If you're
need
being a
less
good
attention.
parent, then no. Maybe
If
when
it's-
how many
once
of you
they're
have
out of my
kids?
house, once
Would
they're
you
out of my house, they're
agree?
18. But no, you
And
should.
none of you have children.
No,
Tell
but
me
we
why.
work.
I think
kids.
they need more attention when
the
they're
same
younger.
amount of
I've worked
you
with
you think
children.
That's
you
the
think
stupidest
that
thing
a
someone can
child
say is that you
between
can't have an
the age-
opinion on a kid unless you have your own kid. We were all kids. We all experienced
How could you-
childhood.
Not that long ago.
Babies
I'm sorry,
and
but
sisters.
you being a teenager was like years and years and decades ago. But we were
Yeah,
teenagers
how
like
can
what,
you
2 to 3
believe
years ago?
that-
Sorry
yeah,
that
I've
you're an
raised
old
teenagers.
man.
What are you talking about, lady? Listen.
Doesn't seem like you were raising them.
Yeah, it
Obviously
doesn't sound like you're
requires
doing a good
far
job.
more. An infant obviously requires far more attention than a 12-year-old.
Sometimes that's not even true. They take naps for so
What if
much
you-
time in the
No,
day.
you can't leave a baby
You're crazy.
I know,
No,
but
but
How
that's
could
like, but
you-
it's taking
okay,
a nap.
if you want
What
to
are
say
doing?
overall, yes.
And
but like,
children
what if
have
you
different
have?
needs.
I
But
was
it's
a
what he's
perfect.
saying is overall.
I know, but yeah, but you could have a perfect baby, right? It could be the blessing. They sleep through the night, everything, and then
They
an
still would
incident
need more
happens.
attention.
Or what if they need? You realize when they're older that they had autism and you weren't dealing with it. You could have a child forever. What if you have a child with special
thing
needs?
is,
You can't
because
just
exceptions
move
have nothing
to do
every
with it.
time.
But
You
he's
just-
bringing up
well,
this
what if a
point-
meteorite came out of the
He's-
sky and hit somebody? We're not talking about extreme
to say
outliers
that
here.
it's a difference because the man has to go to
Stop
work
it.
forever, and the woman,
Good to
oh,
know.
once the kid's up, it's not the same amount of work and effort. But that's not true all the
like a
time.
24
You never
hour
know.
day.
You can't
need
just
to
say
be there
that.
always.
That's how it's
Kiko,
gonna
stop going for the extreme outlier every
not-
time.
not
It's
extreme.
sin. Do you think, generally speaking, that an infant requires more attention than a 12-year-old?
What? Okay, so what do you do in the? Hold on.
Attention, but not
Just
really.
answer the fucking question. How hard could this be?
Answer
Just
the
answer
fucking
it.
question.
Answers
What do
the
you
same
do in the
question
summer
you
then? What do you do in the summer then? So
Oh my God.
I'm gonna
Are you
have that
gonna
12-year-old the whole
answer the
summer, right?
question?
I'm gonna have that baby the whole summer, right? I'm gonna have that 10-year-old the whole
Answer
summer, right?
the question.
I already answered it 3 times. I said fucking no.
Then just say
I said
yes or
fucking
no.
no. I said fucking no like 3 times. I think you need to
but
clean your fucking
then that's
ears.
3 times that you're delusional.
Oh, my
So you're
God.
3 times as delusional as you were the first time you said it. How could you possibly
Jesus
believe
Christ.
that an infant requires less attention than a 12-year-old, 13-year-old,
I didn't say less. I said
14-year-old?
the same.
You're
Less attention.
sending the 13, 14-year-old off, the 12-year-old off to a public school for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Okay,
8
and
to
then
10
you have
hours
to-
a day. The
I
infants
didn't know
are with
public
you
school was
24 hours a day.
365 days
They
a
can't
year.
even respond with their
Right.
needs. You have to
And then you
anticipate
ask
what
a
their needs
question
are. They
and then
can't
you don't
verbally
even listen to the
communicate with you.
answer.
Okay.
They can't even tell you what they
Be
need.
with him the whole summer.
Say you do send the kid off to school or whatever. Okay, how long is school? Till 12, or for most kids. And then if they're 4, 5, 6 years old,
Till 12?
yeah, like 12. If they're like 4 years old, that's like the earliest you can send them to a public school. It like gets out at 12. Okay, you pick them up.
Pizza.
You have,
Yes.
okay, and then what? The other kid gets
And
out
then
at
they go to the
1:30.
babysitter usually. Both parents are working, right?
No, not if you're
Not a lot of
Everybody
people
can do
can,
that.
yeah.
One point is this
That was the whole
That's
point.
not
The
the
whole
majority.
point, yeah, the whole
Dude.
point here, what we're talking about is that the woman is staying home and is the one, the caretaker
Okay,
of the
so
children
the woman
and the
stays home,
household.
and then
she
at
has,
noon,
let me
the
finish,
4-year-old comes
Andrew.
back home.
Let me finish because you're actually pissing me off because you don't know how to just shut up and listen to the girls. Like you
Lady,
think you're
do you
this
think
man.
that I've been
you think
talking
you're this
less than
big,
you?
You think you're this
You've been
big,
interrupting
huge man
more.
that can just interrupt us, and it's getting fucking annoying. Like just shut
Nobody
up.
gives a shit what you think, you stupid scamp.
Whoa, let's be nice.
Answer
No insult.
my question.
No
That's
insult.
like
No, no, no.
so many times.
Yeah.
Answer the question. I don't need self-righteous indignation. Just
You're
answer the
saying
question.
that?
Hold on,
How fucking old are you talking
Hey,
to a 21-year-old
hey,
like that?
How old do you be before I call a spade a spade?
Banks, Andrew Banks.
Childish
Andrew Banks,
as
Put
fuck.
your swords away. Put
Yeah,
your
I
swords.
mean,
Listen,
here you are
this is
spurting at
You're
top of the
intimidating.
because I
I'm
ask
gonna pull the
basic
same
questions.
shit I
Freak
did
out.
with MLD.
Okay,
You're
guys,
intimidated.
guys.
Just listen to the girls.
Whoa,
the girls
holy
don't even
shit,
make
that
any
was
sense.
fucking high pitch.
This one girl over here
Holy
just got
shit.
done telling me that an infant,
Thank you,
when
AB
it comes
check.
to an infant, they
Thank you, AB
require
check.
less attention.
I never said fucking less. I said the
Hey,
same.
guys.
I never
It's the
said less.
same.
God damn.
And said it 3 times. Made sure to say no 3 times.
Okay, moving
really
on.
listen.
Moving on. That was
I really thought he
eventful.
was
That was
gonna
an
be better,
eventful
too.
conversation.
I'm really disappointed,
Uh,
actually.
Going back to Ov Gray
Such
over
a
here.
baby.
My final thoughts
Gray.
on the whole Ov Gray.
Of gray. Like
of gray.
Of
like
Gray.
OF, but make it sound like a V a little bit.
You know
Oh no, you should maybe you should change your fictional
It was
name.
actually OF. It was actually OF Gray, and people thought that I had an OnlyFans, so I
Yeah,
actually
so
had
it's
to change
of
it to
gray. Just say
OV.
of gray.
Cool story.
Of-
So okay, the whole like feminist, but for the general population, but I'm personally traditional in my own relationship dynamic. It's like modernity when it benefits you, and tradition when it benefits you. So typically, the way that looks is modernity for women, tradition for men.
No.
Men have to adhere to their traditional gender roles, while you guys can continue being modern women, dressing provocatively, doing sex work,
How is it
doing
just
sex
how?
work.
Okay, first of all, she's saying that she
It's
wants,
literally.
she just understands that not everybody wants what she has.
Why-
Some people want
let
that.
her talk.
Because you're not listening to what she's saying. She said it like multiple times, and you guys aren't understanding
Kiko
it.
No,
is
but it's
more-
it's hard for me to wrap my head around it because it's like
That-
again,
Are you jealous?
want
So
you want
she
to
wants
be
other
women
stop,
to have
stop,
that.
Stop, Kika. Let me finish. You want to be a modern woman, when it benefits you, and you want tradition when it benefits you.
But who are you referring to?
All y'all, sort of,
No,
kind of?
I said I would still be traditional. I would
Wait,
still
but you
be in
said
a
you're like
household
super
with feminist-
progressive and
Yeah, I
liberal.
said I'd bow to my
Because
man.
they
But I
understand
like
that
to hang out
they
with
want that,
children.
but those three right there, or
I
those
can
two
fix
don't
you.
want
Even
that.
said I'd
So
bow.
They
I can fix
Sorry,
you.
it's not the whole.
No, you can't. I'm extremely stubborn.
Wait, what?
I'm extremely stubborn. You cannot.
I can correct
No,
your path.
I think that everything's like.
I'll fix you.
People just do their own thing. If you want to be a certain religion, be a certain religion, whatever. I never said that I wouldn't be traditional. I literally said my job is like raising
I'll get a
children.
bow.
I
One
wanna
of
be
these-
a-
one
I
day
wanna
I'll
be
get a
a
bow.
teacher
I'll
so
get a
I
bow.
can
Okay.
be with like
Here.
my children over the summer.
I was basically raising children until I came onto this podcast. Who
I
made
really
me start
No,
know
you're
my
not
goal.
raising children.
Yes, you don't know what the
Taking-
fuck
Wait,
I
no,
was
no,
You're
no,
doing.
no, 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 no.
babysitting kids.
Wait,
You're not
wait.
raising children.
You don't know,
You
how
don't
much
know what
in
the
their
fuck
lives
I
you
was
were.
doing.
Yeah,
You don't know what the fuck I was doing. So who the fuck are you to say
Okay,
that I?
raising children. I can't wait to hear
He
it.
was so mean.
I
to
would.
her.
Yeah, bitch,
I
you shut up.
see Latina.
That's a terrible. Yeah, I mean,
I
so many
see
You don't know what the fuck I was
Latina.
doing.
It's more than.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were a
Wait,
fucking fly on the wall,
one
spying
at a
my every
time.
fucking
One at a
move.
time. Hey,
Raising.
all right. We get it.
Some
we get it.
nannies and
Spicy.
babysitters.
I
are
was
with them
literally
more than
getting
their
called
parents are.
mom.
I need
I
the
was
mallet.
getting called
Give me
mom.
the fucking mallet. Give me the judge mallet. Hold on.
Okay, but
Okay, listen, everyone. Can we please yield to Brian when he's like tries to slow
Yeah, you
things
guys
down?
got the.
Sure.
You guys got.
Brian's having a great time.
I've got my fucking judge mallet here, so if I slam on this, y'all shut the fuck up, okay? I need y'all. Order.
I've been on here like 9 times.
Wait, can
and
you
I've never
hide?
seen this.
but
I've-
to answer your
Wait,
question,
hold on.
What's the costume?
What?
What's the
Order in the
costume?
fucking toxic podcast studio. What?
What's the fit about?
Did you like it?
No,
you
I
see
think it
yourself
could be
dating?
better.
Can it not
Hey.
be like
Prince colors,
Could you-
blue and yellow.
So I will tell you guys. I will tell you guys what this costume is. You can bring Andrew back. Bring him back. Okay, there's the mallet. This is a Chilean military uniform.
Why do you have it?
Let's just say I've got connects in Chile. Listen, I'm a well-traveled man. I'm a well-traveled man. I've been to South America, and I could, now that I have this though, I'm probably barred. I probably can't go
I
to
wouldn't go
Chile,
to Chile.
because you actually, it's only the military is supposed to.
Yeah, how'd you get it?
I think
I
he's scared.
trafficked it.
You probably can't.
No,
Oh.
I'm kidding.
He's like,
So this is a Chilean military uniform. Chile, it's a country in south.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just, some people don't know. They might think that's in the Middle East somewhere. Who knows?
God.
Now you might be wondering, Brian. It looks a little bit like a sort of more a Prussian uniform.
Like a
I will.
Nazi?
Excuse me. No. I will say though that Chile, starting in the early 1900s, maybe even the late 1800s, their military was very influenced by the Prussian style of military dress and the way that they kind of organized their military.
Dio41
So-
donated $200.
Oh, he's back.
Andrew, I saw in the comments
What the
that you
fuck,
have
Nick?
5 kids and
Bro, Nick, what are you
homeschool.
doing?
Respect.
Homeschooled kids are always the
best.
weirdest.
Wait, you can show.
I agree.
Tonight.
Kids are the best. But, apparently babysitting them is equivalent to raising them, I guess.
I like the public message.
Okay.
So cute.
I went to
All right,
Catholic
so
school.
going to Avgray here.
Yeah.
You said
No, but to answer
Wait,
your question,
guys.
you said how can you want to be traditional but then want for other women to have the equality of wage and opportunities as
But
men?
let me add to that.
Is that what
So,
you're asking?
sort of, but like, so one of the big pushes when it came to feminism, yes, we can talk about like rights bestowed upon you by the government and equal access to various things and the ability to work, although it's not clear to me, like, to the degree to which women were barred from the workforce and just certain biological realities throughout history and the fact, there's a whole bunch of things there. But even like one of the big pushes that feminism does, it's like, let's do away with gender roles. Gender roles are a bad thing. Men and women are the same. That's a big push from feminism. So that's where I get confused, because it's like, okay, we shouldn't view women in these sorts of ways, and you can say it's all about just from the government down when it comes to rights and stuff, but a big feminist push was we need to view women not even from a legal perspective, but from like a societal perspective in XYZ ways. But we haven't changed that for men. Like, for example, if you want true equality, there would be, for example, a push for women to, in a dating context, for women to be initiators, for women to make the first move, for women to be willing and prepared to pay for the first date.
There's like a biological reason that that's not the case, though.
Well,
you're putting yourselves in harm's way a lot of the time.
Wait, what?
Well, now that I know what you're
you know
asking,
how common like date rape is?
What the
Now that
fuck?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that word. But
Okay, go ahead with your point. Go ahead with your
well,
point.
now that I know what you're asking, I think it is absolutely possible for people to be in the same universe as those that want traditional roles and those that might want untraditional roles, and it has nothing to do with quote-unquote biological differences, as you were saying, which I understand that there are biological differences between men and women. Absolutely there are, but I'm just saying that that wouldn't impact my decision making, because in my opinion, and I say this with emphasis, in my opinion.
Okay, hold on. No. Say your opinion, then I got. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. In your opinion, go ahead.
In my opinion, I think that women are capable of both homemaking as well as being able to provide for a family if they so wanted to, if they have the proper education to. But that was also something that was granted to women later on in history.
Here, let me ask you guys a question. Hold on, I'm going to ask you a question. So, those of you who said that men should be providers and men you'd want a guy to pay for you on the first date, will you take your husband's last name?
I will hyphenate.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, I will take my
okay.
last name.
Yeah, I want my family to have all the one last name.
So no hyphenation?
No.
Okay.
Oh, if I get married, absolutely.
Hold on. Absolutely, you'll hyphenate?
No, I'll absolutely take his last name.
Okay.
Yeah, I would take it.
Yeah.
The microphone could be closer, but...
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be taking my husband's last name.
All right, okay, well. Just you?
I'm about the family unit.
Yeah.
I would have been
Here.
down, but my mom did that, and my parents ended up getting divorced. So I'm
All
like,
right.
"No, I'm just gonna
I'm just gonna drop my middle name.
Here,
I have a. close
Andrew, do you
identity to my
have
last name.
anything on this on this?
On which
On the-
on which topic?
Like the feminist, but also traditional thing?
Yeah, well, it's always curious to me. That's why I was kind of drilling in earlier on the idea of rights. So when you're talking about feminism, you should make a notation that most men, also in the United States, couldn't vote. Almost no men could. Suffrage was something which came later. It was not a foundational principle. And I'm trying to figure out why it is that you think women's liberation is so great. Why do you think feminism is awesome?
Because they got us here to where it is, to where we are now.
Men did.
And
Yeah, but good for
So
those
then,
men.
so
Yeah.
then why
There
do
was still
women?
feminism.
Why do so many
Yeah.
women
The men
complain
made the decision, but-
today about not having equal rights to men?
I'm not complaining.
We're
I'm
not
s-
complaining.
yeah.
I know that
no,
you're
I
not
just wanna keep it
complaining,
that
but I'm
way.
just-
Yeah.
We're not saying that we're complaining. We're saying that we
That-
are in support
have that
of
conversation with
that,
a
you
different
know.
type of feminist.
Yeah, that, you
but
guys are
not-
looking at the blue hair
yeah.
feminists. That's not what
Yeah,
they are. So
that's
it's
not what we are.
No, I think it's the same type of egalitarian principle. So I think the first and second wave led to the third and fourth wave, and that the principles are in essence the same. So
I'm
I
not
don't
looking
think
up
that there's
feminist
this massive
principles on
distinction
Wikipedia.
between fourth and third wave feminism to first and second. I don't think that it's just about voting. I think it's about a move towards these kinds of egalitarian principles, which I largely reject.
I think most of the feminists that I know are more of like, I don't see myself as equal to a man. I know obviously he's stronger than me and there's a lot of differences between us biologically. It's more of so that women wanted the option, if they wanted to have their own education or be by themselves or go 50-50, that's the whole point, is it just to have that option. Because before you had no choice but to get married and have kids with a man, and then if it went south, there was no escape for women. That's what most women are when
there
they think about
still is
feminism.
an escape for women. Like this is the bad
No,
part
now
of
she could be
feminist
by herself
propaganda.
and get divorced and
No,
start
none of
her
that's
own.
true. This is the bad part of feminist
And I've said
propaganda.
this
is
so
that
many
what you're-
times when I've been on this podcast, when they ask me like, oh, like what does a feminist mean to you? It means doing whatever the fuck you want to do without
Right,
society.
that sounds right.
Without society, without society being like, okay, well, you're not a traditional woman. You're a crazy cat lady. No, fuck that. Like, I don't want anybody to have that fucking shit.
Right, you want to just be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes,
right?
period. Thank you, Andrew. You
Freedom of
finally
You're not hurting
listened.
yourself.
There
That's
are
why you're
consequences
freedom
to your
of choice. You
actions,
should have that
though.
freedom.
There are
Yeah,
consequences
but
to your
the only person
actions.
that suffers those consequences is the person that does the action.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Is
My
that moment to the
consequences.
mic?
What is my consequence for like defining myself as a feminist?
Well, it's not just the feminist label. It's having, how do I say this? If you are about like the sexual liberation thing and having multiple, like all these partners, there are consequences to that. It's just,
Yeah, it leads
the only
towards,
person that
she actually is
suffers
making a good
Yeah.
point here.
That's like
This leads
none
towards societal decay.
That's it's
How?
not my business what other people
mean,
do
look
with
at
their
our
body. If
society.
they want, not me personally, I wouldn't be sleeping around. But if another person wants to be sleeping around and call it liberation, then to hell with that. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do. I'm nobody to be like, oh well, you're a whore for fucking wanting to sleep with 10,000 people. What?
But what's
what
wrong
is
if
my
somebody
opinion?
does call them that?
is by
Why is that problematic in your worldview?
Because
'Cause it's mean?
Yes, thank you, Andrew.
So for
thank
me,
you.
I don't
It
care if
doesn't
they get
really
called a
do
whore, but it's just
anything.
the
It
fact that they
doesn't
have
hurt
the right
anything.
to
It doesn't solve
do it.
any issues.
Like you're a whore. Yes, you're a whore. That's a whore. It
You
is.
don't
It is
think
true, but they have the
that
right to
social
do it.
shaming and
is the thing.
social stigma solves
There's-
issues?
It's not going to
doesn't
solve
solve
anything.
issues.
It solves nothing.
Andrew,
Andrew,
social
what do you
stigma has
gain?
solved tons of
What do you
problems. What are you
gain?
talking about?
Let me ask you, what do you gain from coming on here and calling me a skank? Do you gain anything? Do you get a little pat on the back? Do you get a
part
cookie?
of the way. So what happens is, what you have to do, unfortunately, in the modern society that you're dealing with, where there's tons of decay, is when somebody hits you, you have to hit them back harder. That's the way it generally seems to work, unfortunately. Now, if you had behaved yourself, been a good girl, I wouldn't have had
Don't
to
call me
have,
that.
you know,
Do
called you
not
what I
call
called
me
you.
that.
But instead, you had to mouth off and be a bitch, so I just kind of talked to you like I talked to you, right? That's how it works.
Do you think, let me
Let's
ask
not,
you.
let's not insult, guys, let's
Andrew,
not insult
do
people.
you think
Not insult people. He got up here and
Do you
called.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He called
Don't-
moms against drunk driving dumb broads.
Wait,
like,
what?
Yeah.
He
They
called
were,
moms
well, I
against
mean,
drunk
but that, they
driving
were
dumb
being dumb
broads.
broads when they did that.
Sir,
right?
I'm going to tell you something, okay?
Grieving mothers. Grieving
Okay.
Coming
mothers.
you're coming from a place of great insecurity.
No, it sucks that you have
yeah,
so
how
good behavior like
profound.
this.
Yeah,
You-
I've never met an adult. I work for men that are probably the same age, probably even younger than you, and I've never had them call me a dumb skank.
They don't
I
or
know,
anything.
but
They
the
treat me
problem
with
is
respect.
that's my whole
They
problem.
treat me with
see. It's-
respect, and I've never
It's
come.
societal
Let me
stigma.
finish.
Society-
Let me finish.
If
I've never
societal
once.
stigma existed,
You
then women
feel-
would
you
have much
felt-
better behavioral patterns in society.
So
That's
just
what I
because
advocate
I didn't
for.
behave the way you wanted me to behave, I am therefore a skank. That to you,
No,
that makes
that's not
sense in
what
your
makes you
head.
skank.
Your frontal lobe is fully developed, sir.
The fact
and
that you're
over
the fact
here
that you're for
calling a
sexual
20
liberation
you're
and
calling
skankery
a
is what makes you
21-year-old
skank,
girl
not
a
because of
skank.
anything else.
You're calling a 21-year-old girl a skank. Like, are you gonna call your
Would it make it
21-year-old
better if
daughter
you
a
were 41
skank?
years old?
Would you like it if a fucking man called your 21-year-old daughter a skank? Do you think that's
If
the
she was
way?
being a skank, it would be the best corrective
You're
reasoning he
fucked
could
in
do.
the head. You're fucked in the head. You are not a good father, and your children are gonna grow up to hate you.
It just sucks because you sometimes do have some
My
good points, but when you talk like
have
this to people, they will never.
I have children
everything
who are
else you say
older
is
than you. They
negated.
don't hate me. I'm
Like
sorry.
you could say the most
do you
intelligent
think
thing,
my-
but if
I
He's
would
trying to help you guys.
trying to help me by not calling me a
To
skank.
wake you up.
Well, the problem
Wake
is,
me up
is
from
like
what?
you've been as combative as you
Possibly
can possibly be. If I hit back, you cry. It's like, where's your feminism? Where's your
why-
awesome why you whine? Instead, why don't you have a nice,
Wait.
productive debate instead of whining incessantly?
Because you're over here
Hey.
putting insults. And
The
they're not-
gavel has come down. I've stricken the gavel. Okay. All right. There we go. Nice. He needs a little smoke break. Andrew, we'll give you a smoke break. Okay?
Yeah.
Damn,
We're
he's
giving
smoked
Andrew a
cigarettes
smoke
throughout-
break.
Are you indoors? Are you indoors where your
He's
parents stay?
chain-smoking.
You
Or your
guys,
kids stay, or is it
he's
a different
chain
house?
smoking. Actually,
my
here's the
dad
reality. Andrew used to never smoke before he came on the Whatever podcast, but it's so stressful for him to be having these kinds of conversations.
I would believe that.
I might have to start smoking too.
Do you work out of a studio, or are you smoking inside the house where you're?
He smokes inside because he's a
Where your
giga
kids-
chad.
I was smoking right next to my kids. I blow it in their fucking faces.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking doubt it.
Now that's good parenting. All right.